Let's talk about September, the next month on our Principles Timeline series.
The Christian Principles Podcast is brought to you in partnership with the Herzog Foundation. But bear in mind, the views and opinions expressed here are those of the hosts and not necessarily of the Herzog Foundation.
Welcome to the Christian Principles Podcast. I'm Matt George.
And I'm Mark Zockoll. Matt, glad you're with us tonight. We know these episodes take us a while to get through, so we're going to hit the ground running. We're only listing out a few of the holidays in September, the first one being Labor Day. Now, Matt, why is Labor Day a special holiday for you and your school?
Because that's the only day I labor.
Just one. I only do one.
No,
Can't be laboring too hard other days.
We take what we can to not labor, for we will be laboring forever thereafter.
Forever thereafter.
School starts the next day.
The tradition at Faith Baptist School is to have the Labor Day upon which we do not labor, but then to immediately begin laboring the following day. The Tuesday following that fateful Monday is back to school day for you, Matt.
Coming up.
All right, moving on. We got Patriot Day, September 11th. We had some fun with Labor Day, but Patriot Day, of course, we remember those who lost their lives on 9/11, the heroes of the day. We have Constitution Day, which is also Citizenship Day, so we celebrate those who immigrate to the country legally, those who we review the Constitution, even think about the Constitution with our students early on, September 17th, and then Gold Star or Mothers or Family Day. That's the last Sunday in September. Now, Matt's going to walk you through the weeks and the months.
I just think before we move on, I think it's important. It's only the Gold Star mothers that you celebrate on that last Sunday, not the silver ones.
The trashy mothers, leave them out of this.
Okay, all right.
We have Gold Star moms. Thanks, moms, for listening.
We do. Both of ours. They're like
Matt, you
platinum,
go ahead with the next
platinum
two.
Star. I don't know, whatever's above gold. Like that.
Yeah,
that's
diamond, platinum.
National weeks.
The weeks and the months. I'll hit the next. I'll hit the session after that. Go ahead.
The weeks that we got, important one. Well, actually, both of these are the second week of September. So there's two of these for the second week. National Suicide Prevention Week. A great time to, especially as we're starting up school, make sure that we are talking with our kids and encouraging them and helping what we can, bring awareness in that area.
And interestingly, the episode that you just listened to, 127, as it's episode 128, we spoke with Mr. Toby Whitmer of the Safe Helps Groups. Make sure you tune into that one if you haven't, and all he has to say about this necessary topic.
Right. Also that week is the National Arts in Education Week. Arts in Education. Celebrate that. The second week of September. Third week of September, National Historically Black Colleges and Universities Week.
Now, I am a graduate of an HBCU, and that was my third degree, but University of Maryland Eastern Shore is an HBCU of long historical tradition, and it has been, it is within 15, 20 minutes of where I am. So, Matt, what, 12, 15 minutes of you from where you are over that side of town?
Not even.
A long heritage there. HBCUs are celebrated in the third week of September specifically.
Yeah, and then in September, there is a National Hispanic Heritage Week, although this does blend us right into our month-long observances from September 15th to October 15th. So kind of a weird mid-month thing, but National Hispanic Heritage Month.
You don't see many of those.
No.
Not Hispanics or Hispanic Heritage Months. Rather, you don't see many of those months which are split. Yeah, mid.
Yeah. We've got National Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, also the Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. So kind of both of those things we're bringing awareness to. National School Success Month. Of course, this one makes sense.
Get it.
We want to be successful, although we should probably also have School Success Month in like April, because that's when we really need that punch in the arm.
Yeah, I hear you.
National Preparedness Month. Also very, very timely for us. Hopefully we're more than prepared come September.
Well, I'm feeling prepared tonight, actually. I was ready for this pod. I was ready for this episode.
National Courtesy Month. So if you're one of those people that don't like to be courteous, please do so in September.
Shut it down for September.
National Food Safety Education Month. We want to make sure we are bringing awareness to eat safely. Please do.
Well, I mean, if you're eating, I guess you could eat without safety and still be like fine. The calorie counts. I guess the calorie count really isn't part of food safety.
This is more like
botulism.
Let's avoid getting E. coli and whatever else,
Okay.
Whatever you can get.
All right.
Nice. National Library Card Sign Up Month. If you haven't got your library card, go get one in September.
You don't have a moving buddy? Get one.
We say that a lot on this podcast, I think.
There's so many quotable moments. Toy Story, the original, the OG, so many quotable moments.
Yeah. Right along with food safety, September is also National Baby Safety Month. So, teach those babies to be safe.
I like that. I think about babysitting in this. When I think about baby safety month, I think about how necessary it is to have really good babysitters because of most prized possession on earth, of course, the blessings of a child and needing to pass them off to Dick. In fact, I just saw there was a horrendous incident at a daycare in Georgia. Don't even want to name the woman, but she actually punched the child in the face. A close to 50-year-old, daycare employee punched the child in the face, and the child was like, I think he was 2. Just anyway, horrendous. Keep going.
To put it on a little bit of a lighter note, now that you and we're more of those seasoned parents. I know your kids are still, a little bit.
They call me Old Bay.
A little young now. You still got that little one at home, but I was just recently with my sister who has two young ones, and they're coming into a house that they're not usually around, and they're in that looking for baby proof. Is everything baby proofed? Oh, it's not baby proofed. It's like, I stopped caring about that a long time ago.
I stopped caring that 2 kids ago. Okay, that's
my kids probably should have the things not so safe. We were just doing some construction. There's a saw laying on the ground.
Oh,
and, it's like, it's okay.
We've been doing our own renovation, and it wasn't unsafe, but I did have my little crawler now out with me, and I had an open can of paint. I kept being like, I had to kind of gauge when I had to get down off the ladder to help him move him back to the middle of the room so he wouldn't go after the open can of paint. So anyway, what are the last 2, Matt?
And then probably a bad one to follow that up with, National Recovery Month.
Yes, for all those who are recovering, though, we do celebrate you and your path back to a healthy state.
Right. And then the last one that we have here, it is National Self-Care Awareness Month.
I feel like that one kind of slipped through. There's people who people get their hackles up when you talk about self-care, self-awareness. There's got to be a biblical line there, right? We cannot be so concerned about ourselves that we put off the needs of others. However, how
about we retitle this Physical Stewardship Month?
Okay.
How about that?
Physical and mental. Physical and mental
all that deals with
the body.
The body, right?
The biblical stewardship of the body awareness month. Way too long.
We can get behind that.
I feel better about that than self-care. Okay, so we're past the holidays. We're going to jump into content, but before I go deeper in this, what we do when we have this timeline series is we list out a bunch of areas to consider throughout the pod. But I just want to get Matt's reaction, off the cuff, emotional knowledge of September. Matt, as you would emote month by month, and I'm sure throughout a month your emotions carry you all over the spectrum, but generally speaking, what is September's emotion for you as a Christian school administrator?
Honestly, September is relief.
That
is the word that comes to mind when I get to September.
Yeah.
If I were to August is as tense and just burdensome as you could possibly get. And I think we shared this back in May or whatever, when parents typically say at the end of the year, man, now you can take it easy for a while. And it's like, no, the summertime
We
is so busy.
put so much pressure on ourselves in the
So
summertime to
much
like get
pressure.
everything done we're supposed to get done, and we're supposed
Once
to
school
professionally develop.
actually gets rolling, get that first week done, just I can breathe
Golden.
again. Yeah.
I was talking to Levi Bentley who's over with Jimmy Fit out in Granite Christian Academy, and he said the same thing back in May, June, just saying, I'm excited not for the lead up, but for when we're actually doing what we're supposed to be doing, when I'm actually mentoring, when I'm actually discipling, we're walking through the chapels we so carefully planned. We're actually holding students. We're holding conversations with students that we've wanted to hold all year. So yes, I was thinking you would say something like that, because off the cuff, there may be some trepidation. Off the cuff, it may be, I'm re-entering what were hazardous relationships or things like that from the previous year. But no, but it really isn't. And especially, Matt, when you officially go back to school early September, first week of September is what it's going to be when you go back to school. But for peers of ours who started late August and down south, even early August, they are firmly into that back to school time in September. And what is September? It should be campus is as clean as it's going to be, right?
Yes.
It's as fresh as it's going to be.
There's not much broken yet.
All the new stuff is still new. The new toys are still new. The new playground balls are still new. The new teachers are still new. They still are riding high. Everybody's excited about what they installed in their classrooms. The classrooms aren't broken down yet. And so September, I think a key for us as we talk through September would be, this is where don't put more pressure on ourselves, but this is where you got to feed that, because that's the momentum to take you through the rest of the year. If you have a cruddy September, good luck. Good luck. Godspeed to you. Like if you do not get off on, this is why we talk about parents back to school night being such a big deal to actually carefully consider, because just like you don't get off the wrong foot with all them. If you have a bad orientation week, your first week back, if you have, issues that you put off and didn't take care of, or something that should have happened that didn't happen, so you're stumbling out of the blocks, you are making for a very, very difficult year coming up. Let's get right to it. Student and staff engagement. It's never too early to run those affective instruments with the students, faculty, and staff. When I say affective instruments, I don't mean to over-explain, but like literally asking them with a survey, how are you doing right now? It's never too early to do that. What are you looking forward to this year? What did you hate about last year? You go back and you revisit some of the things that you pulled out of them at the end of last year, and you put them. There's a lot of that formal and informal review with them early on, so you can get their opinions. You can, again, set up for the rest of the year. Identify and monitor struggling students early on. Again, one of those never too earlys. It's never too early to find or to try to put a finger on what you think will be the difficulties of the year. Get right to it. Know who they are. Figure it out. Ask the teachers pointedly, who do you think after the first 2 weeks you're going to have to care more about that you didn't even see coming? And maybe that's a faculty-wide statement. Again, can't be too soon to visit classrooms. Get out there, visit the classrooms, get into them, see students and teachers, let them know you will be walking around. We think of our principal peer who is on the cart, the famous, he's revamped his entire public school because all he's done is he's lived on his cart recently, he and his other administrators. Meet with teachers to set goals. Yes, make sure you are on the path immediately with your teachers. The suggestion here is within 6 weeks of orientation, you have goal setting professional development meetings with every one of the faculty and staff that you or your principals are responsible for. Begin teacher observation processes. Start them right away. Perhaps you go with your vets early on. Perhaps you go with your rookies early on for a good reason for either one. Whatever it happens to be, go ahead and pursue those. But we roll into administrative responsibilities. When I think of September administrative responsibilities, I'm largely thinking of, again, that the key frame of mind. We want September. We want all the months to go off without a hitch, but really we want to see September just be that ball is rolling. We got all this energy. We're so excited. So administratively, I got to be the rah-rah guy. I want to make sure my board is as happy as possible. I want to make sure my parents are as happy as possible. So some of that administrative responsibility is just making sure I'm setting aside time to speak with all of those entities. I'm going to submit either for board review or just like it's officially in the record now, a master schedule, any kind of policies or handbooks that have been updated because it's the start of the year. Now's the time. This is the time at which those things are now in cement, so to speak. If I want to start my emergency drills, as we talked about in orientation, perhaps during your orientation week, you go ahead and our orientation days, whatever happens to be, you go ahead and start your emergency drills. And so you are quickly getting in the groove of them for the year. Be seen. Make sure you are walking around. Make sure you are, we'll say this again, extracurricular activities, get on them early. Start checking the ones off the box. Anticipate needs and news of the year. If you know this is the 50th anniversary, if you know you're expecting to lose a teacher halfway through the year, you're expecting to lose a teacher at the end of the year, you're expecting that this is going to be this is for whatever reason, there's I don't know. It could be anything from a pregnancy to this graduation is going to be actually a very difficult graduating year because you're losing some real key pieces. Whatever it happens to be, like anticipate those things. And then set some personal goals. Write down very clearly. I heard Pastor Brother Christopher, Pastor Uncle Brother, Brother-in-law, whatever we're calling him.
Pastor Brother Christopher.
Yeah, I heard somebody say for Andrew, she's got to call him, he is her braster because the brother pastor.
Braster.
Or it could be her brother, one or the other. He said that behind his door is going to be the 10, 5, and 1 year plans, goals. Make sure yours are set. Make sure you have those goals set and seen for everybody. So administratively, you are just trumpeting. This is what's coming up. This is what's coming up.
This episode is sponsored by the Herzog Foundation, a powerful partner in equipping Christian school leaders like you. If you're looking to sharpen your leadership and renew your vision, don't miss the Herzog Foundation Institute, a multi-day in-person training experience for Christian school principals and administrators. Held at their state-of-the-art facility in Missouri, as well as all over the country, each cohort dives deep into leadership development, school culture, and mission clarity, all through a biblical lens. You'll grow alongside fellow leaders who understand the challenges and calling of Christian education. And here's the best part. The training, lodging, and meals are completely free. All you have to do is get yourself there. Visit herzogfoundation.com to see upcoming sessions and apply today. It's not just leadership training, it's kingdom work. And as always, tell them that the fellas here at the Christian Principles Podcast sent you.
All right, Matt. Relationship building.
Relationships. And a lot of this is really similar.
Yeah.
We're just kind of connecting it to different points within the school family. September is a great time to have a back to school night. Maybe that's separate from your orientation, so that it's genuinely a time to just connect, find out how people, what their summers were like and what they're excited about for this school year. Just an enjoyable time for families to connect. You can meet with parent organizations, make sure you're collaborating, make sure everybody is on the same page, keeping that communication flowing. Attend your opening state, if you're a part of a state association, which we're encouraging you, please be a part of a state association. But you can attend those beginning of the year meetings. I know ours is typically in September, traveling up to Glen Burnie and spending good time with them.
A couple of those major national organizations also have their legislative conventions and their legislative conferences come up in September as well.
And of course, you have those other leaders in your building, whether they be athletic directors, fine arts directors, that they're going to be also interacting with other schools and coordinating all that. So making sure that they have the connections they need, the plans they need to get rolling throughout the year. I know we always talk about athletic director, like you're behind the ball if this, your games are going on, but I know fine arts is always something that we feel we could never start too early. We always end up feeling we're always behind the ball on that one. But help your directors out, or if you're doing all of it, just help yourself out in staying connected. Yeah. Speaking of athletics, the games are rolling. As administrators, make a presence at these games, please.
Get to the games.
I know of several administrators, and I don't want to put them down, but it's sometimes easy to say, well, I've got all these other responsibilities to juggle. I'm trusting my athletic director. I'm trusting my coaches, and to take care of that. But especially if they're home games, like I'm not necessarily saying get out there to away games, although that will probably mean a whole lot more to your kids
Mm-hmm.
if you show up in
Mm-hmm.
an away game.
If you take fans with you with like the
Yeah,
school van
yeah.
or something, yeah.
But especially if it's a home game, make sure you're making your presence known and felt. That it means a lot to your kids, but it's somewhat, if the traveling teams are aware of you as well, it means a lot to them too. So make sure you're getting out to those. Early student gatherings is an opportunity. I know, and this is kind of the next point, so I'll say it as well. Make sure the spiritual theme and perhaps spiritual enrichment opportunities at the start of the school year are good to go. Engaging speaker, have maybe even a spiritual emphasis week
Mm-hmm.
as you get the years rolling. I know several schools that take the first couple days of school and kind of treat it as a spiritual emphasis, maybe to go away to a camp or something like that, maybe for the high school,
Mm-hmm.
or if they can do it for the whole school. I know that's a great way to get the ball rolling well. Mark's been saying get the ball rolling. I would also say, if you've already set your bar high, September is a time that when you see things are going well, try to push that bar up.
Good.
Be
Yeah.
be
Mm-hmm.
doing the best you can in September. Not that we're going to coast, but if we were to coast from September on, that we know we've created enough energy that by the time we get to May, we're okay.
Mm-hmm.
You really got to think about that in September.
I'd also say there's an example of this happened to us even today where there have been things percolating in Matt's mind and my mind and your principal's mind and whoever else that it's been in your mind, and you might even put some action to it because you're responsible for it. But once the school year starts, once you're engaging with that local community, outside community, you start getting feedback that it's good feedback, and it probably even takes, as you said, it raises the bar of what that was a good idea with me, and my idea was good, but it just got 10 times better by
Yeah.
two people voicing some thoughts into it. And wait, this is a way better idea now that we have this corporate mind meld going on around it. So be aware of that, be open for that, and get those thoughts out of your head on paper and then in front of people so that they can help you raise that bar ultimately. The next two are short, so I'll hit them both. We got community engagement, and a drive that we have here, especially for those church schools, is that perhaps you have an opportunity in your church side of your ministry to have a school emphasis Sunday. The churches which operate a school do not operate that school in a small way. I don't know how to say it. These are major parts of the ministry, of the overall mother ministry, the church ministry. So making sure that if there is an opportunity that you, in conjunction with the leadership of the church, with the pastors and whatnot, can bring your faculty and staff forward to be prayed over. Bring the students forth to be prayed over. Have them stand in the service. If you are given the opportunity to actually bring a message or something like that as the administrator, if you're able to cast a vision for the school year and given some time, not just a table in the lobby, perhaps, that's fine. But even more than that, hey, how about you get out there and you actually ask for that or make that happen? And so it's not just commercial. It's getting the church behind you. And for those that are perhaps more community Christian schools or, not out of one, you could do this throughout several different churches. Theoretically, maybe that is more of a booth there on a Sunday morning, but asking those churches very specifically to pray for you, to get involved in very specific ways in the school. Also, community members wise, we're thinking so much in September about our own community, our school community, because that's where we're getting them back with us. If you are going to be asking politicians to come onto your campus at all, if you are going to be asking community members to come onto your campus at all, get them early. So there's a major funding body that I've known and been a part of the ministries I've been a part of. Getting a request in at the summer meeting, and even then reminding in the early fall, was key to actually getting a couple of their figureheads to come out to an event we had. The same with politicians. Now's the time to get them in. And especially, again, the campus is clean. It's fresh. It's as good as it's gonna get. The uniforms aren't ripped and dirty yet, right? Everybody's still got their early nice clothes on. Students are smiling still. They're happy to be there. As far as strategic planning and support, We got review individual teacher categories and make necessary adjustments. Hopefully that's already been done, but maybe some things have transpired, or again, you discovered something about a teacher. I had a teacher, and actually I say this, and I'm thinking about a peer right now who had an elementary teacher. They begin school next week. An elementary teacher just told him that she is taking a position elsewhere.
Yep.
And I have been on the receiving end of that, where I had a teacher who was with us for in-service, and then 2 days into the school year was done. So maybe you need to make those adjustments. And of course, now's the time for it. Beginning planning the cost and logistics for student activities, including field trips and performances. Yeah, maybe you can get the schedule out in the summertime, but you haven't actually done the legwork on some of those logistics. If that's up to you, that's part of what you do. Make sure those are ready for the school year. I was thinking today about a trip down to the National Fine Arts Competition and the costs of that for associated with the school, and has the school included that in its budget for the year. And then additional support for transition students, those who have moved from K to first, from, if they're middle school 4th to 5th or 8th to 9th, whatever it happens to be. Have you taken a moment to really go back and support those students? Or in the same way, those faculty and staff who have transitioned from old position to new position, a faculty member who's become a staff member, who's become an administrator. Have you checked in on your principals recently? There you go.
There you go. All right. And of course, there's going to be other miscellaneous tasks, as we'll say, that we could throw in here for September. Collaborate with staff to ensure consistent communication and effective meetings, getting things rolling. I know Mark was saying about, you might have to adjust some things. If you get off to the start of school and you recognize, what we have planned out for our weekly meetings, like, just doesn't
Garbage.
feel right.
Can't do it.
Change it, please.
Yeah,
Don't try
do
to
it.
drag that out all year long.
Yep.
Change it up.
Cut the fat if you have to. Yeah.
Cut the fat. Yeah. Look for ways to make sure everything is just rolling smoothly as best you can. And even thinking beyond our communication with the faculty, this is also the early times that faculty are going to be communicating with parents. And I was just telling my faculty this: if they're struggling to get through, we can't just push that off. Let's get on top of it. Let's make sure everybody is on the same page. Make sure that is solid by hopefully by like the middle of September, not even by the end of September. Get that figured out. Monitor and address early attrition by supporting families who may have doubts about continuing.
I just want, as you think about this, sorry to interject, but it's not something that solely happens to you, administrator. Just so you know, early attrition's a real thing. It's easy to pick on homeschoolers, but I've known many a homeschooler who take their kids back within the first week, or the family that comes from the different school, or who has started paying tuition. They've never paid tuition before, and within the first month they're gone. That early attrition is a very real thing. It's a phenomena that happens across private schooling, across Christian schools. It's not just you. It's gonna happen.
Probably should stop using the illustration of separating the sheep from the goats, because it's probably not the best illustration, but it's kind of that. And again, this was something I was talking to my faculty about today, is, we are who we are unapologetically. And if people don't know that by this point, like, shame on them, kind of. As long as they're not walking away for something that is clearly our fault.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's fine. And you know what? I've had conversations with families that were probably shocking for them, but I've almost supported them in that move. Like, hey, if you believe this is the right move for your family, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
And don't feel like I'm going to, if you're wanting me to be the guy that's going to get on my knees and pull at your skirt and say, please stay, like, it's not going to happen, because if you don't want to be here, that's going to be horrible for you and for us.
Yeah.
So let's figure it out.
I've definitely sat in those meetings and heard them list off of things that are wrong, and then looked around and been like, you're not trying to convince me. Like, if that's truly what you believe, then why are you even sitting here? You didn't have to have this meeting.
Yeah. But I will
If you
also,
truly don't trust us that much, or whatever else it happens to be, yes, please get up, get gone. Go find a place you can minister in, because this isn't it, apparently.
but I would also say there are those cases where maybe somebody is disgruntled over something they don't fully understand.
Of
And
course,
so
sure.
sitting down and having those conversations, I've had them where they come in upset, and it's not even me defending anything. It's like, well, what do you think that means? Or what do you think we're supposed to do? More or less, they start realizing, oh, wow, I'm just way off base here. Like, yeah, you are. Okay, so are we good now? Yeah, we're good. Let's go. So just looking for opportunities to, again, going back to that relationship, communication, get on it early. And then I think this is the most important out of all that we say, but promote the school's theme, the theme that you have maybe for the year or overall theme, and your vision through anything that you do. I mean, obviously you need to be pushing this in the first couple of days of school. If you're starting in September, you're going to be emphasizing that, but in your events, in your communications, your memos you're sending home, and your social media posts, that you are just shouting it from the mountaintops. This is what we are trying to do this year, and we're excited about it, and we want you to be excited about it. And of course, I'm sure the theme that you pick and the emphasis is also going to tie back to your mission statement. And that is another time. Don't just think, well, last year we hammered the mission statement home, everybody got it, so we don't have to worry about it this year. Every single year. This is a new year, same mission. And I think that's an important message. New year, same mission. We are here for this purpose, and make sure you're just hitting it as hard as you possibly can at this start of the year.
Awesome. Hey, that's September, and there's a lot more we didn't say. Let's hear what you have to say about September, but we're going to move on now to our Christian Administrator Spotlight. The Christian Administrator Spotlight today comes from Granite Christian Academy. Granite Christian Academy is down in Wytheville, Virginia, off of Peppers Ferry Road. That's a great name. Peppers Ferry Road in Wytheville, Virginia. And it is Granite Christian Academy, which is a ministry of Fellowship Baptist Church. And the administrator we are spotlighting is Mr. Aron Davies. Now, Mr. Aron Davies is a friend, at the very least, an acquaintance. Someone who we have met before, worked with at the ODAX conventions previously, spoken with. And I have this fleeting memory of Mr. Davies, basically, I don't know if he was following me or I was following him, but I was in all the same workshops that he went to. I was in all the same ones throughout the day. And so we sat across from each other, would talk to each other. But Mr. Aron Davies is going to be our Christian Administrator Spotlight. And the Warriors there at Granite Christian Academy celebrating 50 years of being open as a Christian school. And from the website and from the descriptions of the ministry, it would appear to probably those on the outside to be a small, nondescript Christian academy. But for 50 years, imagine the lives touched. That's amazing. Aron, thank you so much for your service. Matt's gonna pray for you.
Let's pray. Lord, we thank you for Aron. We thank you for his service in Christian education, and we thank you for the school, Granite, in their faithfulness over 50 years. I'm sure as they look back at maybe some high times, maybe some low times, but Lord, through it all, you've been there, you've been faithful. So we thank you for these faithful servants that are serving you there in Virginia. Aron, as he leads them, I pray that you would just uplift him, that you would strengthen him as he gets this year up and running. Lord, that would just be one of the strongest years in all those 50 that Granite has experienced. And even for Aron in his life, that this would be one of maybe the greatest years that he can look back and see you doing a great work, both for him personally and for the school. I just pray that you would bless as he leads his faculty and his staff and his student body. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right. That was September.
That was it. All done.
That was fun. Thanks for growing with us today.
Before you go, please be sure to hit that follow button on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, on Spotify, be sure to tap the star icon near the top and select the number of stars you'd like to give us. We'd be so grateful for 5. On Apple Podcasts, scroll down to the ratings and review section and then tap write a review to share your thoughts of the podcast. Thank you.